What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? We back in the building. I know we're a little bit late, and I apologize. They're working on some internet stuff here in the neighborhood, but guess what? We ready to rock and roll. We good to go. Gotta fix the camera. What we doing, coach? Get your stuff straight. What we doing? Come on, working on some stuff. But anyway, we back in the building, man. Today we're gonna talk about Coach Cristobal. He's on his media tour, promoting the program. Everything's going great. Everybody wants to talk to Coach Cristobal, especially after the great season that he had, right? Did not win a natty, but Lord have mercy. What a way to turn around the program, made it to the natty, so forth and so on. But today I want to talk about he did an interview with Greg McElroy on his show. And it's called, I'm trying to see what it's called, ESPN College Football. There it is. And Greg McElroy did an interview with him, and I thought it was a very good interview. Shout out to Brother Jay Blaze, who actually put it up in the Discord as well. And listen, man, pretty good. I have to say, a very good interview, very insightful interview. Gave a lot of insight. Of course, there's some coach speak. I get it. Not a big deal. But however, I thought Coach Cristobal, showed a lot of transparency in this interview. And he talked about the program. They talked about all types of things. They talked about player acquisition, how to balance your roster with high school players. They talked about scheduling. He talked about off-season workouts. He talked about the wide receiver room, offensive line development, guys going to the NFL draft. How do you replace them? Wasn't very, very long in particular. Maybe about a 20-minute interview. But like I said, very insightful. So if you haven't seen it, and I think a lot of you guys did because I saw some of y'all in the comments section that are normally on here. So matter of fact, I saw you on there. Shout out to my man right here. Shout out to Magazine. I saw him leave a comment. It says, "We here early or is Coach late? No matter, we lit." I love it. Appreciate it, man. We both, man, at the same time. But why so late? Cause y'all tough, man. Man, internet issues, man. If I was like ESPN or Fox or some new sports or FS1, they got the big boy. I gotta wait on Spectrum to get right. Anyway, my bad. But no, we back to rock and roll. Like I said, I apologize. And because we are a little bit late, I'm gonna go ahead and open this up now. A couple people can definitely talk about it. We're gonna open up here the phone line here. And for people who want to talk about this interview or just whatever, we can. We actually had a great interview last night. On the back end of it, a lot of hurricane talk, and I told them save it till today. Well, here they are. So you can go ahead and call in now, 862-799-9956. Shout out to Hugh McCain. I'm always prepared. I see you in the building. Come on, man. You already talking about pencil fighting. Coach always prepared, man. Let's get it in. She said it's all good. I appreciate that, Katie. Thank you. And I love that. Is that Tom and Jerry? Is that the little cousin on your avatar there? I forgot it. Jerry. I think his name was Jerry. I can't remember his name. But let me know if I'm right or wrong. But anyway, we're hearing the thing. We ready to rock and roll. And like I said, while we wait for some people to call in, 862-799-9956, please feel free to call on in, as well as hit the like, share, and subscribe button on your way in or even on your way out. We would appreciate it. Juan Manuel in the building. Thanks, brother. Daniel Berry Sports. Appreciate you. What's up, man? Y'all go check in my aunt again in here. Emmett, good evening. How you doing, man? Hurricane Pip. Yo, what's good, Cole? What's happening? I'm good. And B. Sanson, the over under a 2-hour show tonight. Hey, we got to make it happen, man. But we are going to make it happen. But anyhow, like I said, he talked about the college football playoffs too in this interview. And people start talking about 2014. I think that's to the point of that's ridiculous. 2014 college football playoffs. They talked about the non-conference games being scheduled and canceled. He talked about the scheduling. He said, we're getting a lot of college games on Fridays and Thursdays and stuff like that. And he's a big advocate for having those games being played on Saturdays, right? And I understand that his rationale behind it, which actually makes a lot of sense, is to respect the high school games, but also to get recruits to come. If I plan on Friday, the majority of the high school recruits are playing on Friday. So they can't come to the game. They can't enjoy uh, the opportunity to come see the inner workings of a college program because they have to play their game that Friday night. So, with all that being said, I thought it was very insightful. I thought there was a lot to unpack in there. We definitely can unpack it and chop it up. Um, and make it happen. Now, he talked about the importance of a Ruben Bain and Mesidor and so forth. And like I said, man, hey, it was really good. And realizing, man, on this team, and I thought Mario Cristobal made a great observation. They were talking about uh, the amount of guys going in the NFL draft, right? Kind of that first round. So we potentially can have three guys: Mesidor, Bain, as well as CC Maui Noah. Well, I remember him saying, was it 22 that they were on the plane? I think they were going to go recruit somebody. And right before the plane took off, the draft was going on. And they were like, hold up, we got to see because the Hurricane NFL draft record was almost broken by not having someone drafted. And I believe it was Jonathan Ford, a defensive lineman who got drafted in the 7th round, kept the streak alive, but it was almost not. And he said he turned to his coach and said, brother, we got some work to do. And what he was trying to say, or what he was saying, was the draft and your success kind of go hand in hand. If you are successful, you potentially have more guys getting drafted, right? And if you look at it, a lot of the teams who are successful within the top 25, definitely top 15, especially the top 10 and 5, they typically have more guys drafted than other players overall, that is, right? And when Miami almost had that streak broken, and fortunately Jonathan Ford gets drafted in the 7th round, which kept it alive, that kind of told you the state of the program from what it was to where it was currently at that particular time. And then look where it is back now, 2 years or 4 years later. So that right there is huge. You know what I mean? And now we probably will have maybe y'all put in the chat. Let's see, maybe 6, 7 guys drafted. Maybe 7 guys get drafted this year, kind of like we did last year, right? So it's showing you the improvement of the program. You understand? Jay says, Coach, why are we not talking about the 6'7" tight end that we have, Gilbert? Well, call in, let's talk about it. I haven't seen it, but call in, let's talk about it. We definitely could talk about it. Pimp Down said, Pimp Down says that's also has a lot to do with talent development. Of course. Of course. I mean, that's arguable, it's questionable as well. And you got transfer portal guys coming in. I do believe there is some development going on, but with the transfer portal, you're getting guys older and they're coming in and out faster. But like I said, I think where I give Mario a ton of credit is understanding how to navigate the transfer portal and high school recruiting simultaneously. There's some guys phone off, no service. You better pay that bill, Jason. Stop playing, man. They'll get you a Cricket Wireless. But anyway, you have guys that, like I said, that talent acquisition that comes in from high school. And I always said, high school are your stitches. The transfer portal is a Band-Aid to the recruiting and the talent acquisition department. And for that, that's a good deal. Got Shock on the line. Give me 1 second, Shock. I'll be right there with you. And I think he has done a phenomenal job understanding how to navigate that, right? We have some guys that we pick up straight out of high school, develop them, get them going. And I think Greg McElroy asked a very, very important question. Coach, how do you keep these guys? Right? We talk about talent acquisition so far as the high school guy. Now, let's be real. Miami has not kept all of their high school players, but that's par for the course when it comes to what's going on right now. I feel like I'm leaning heavy into this microphone because for some reason it's super low. Let me scoot over a little bit. How about that? Kind of off center, but it is what it is right now. We're going to get it fixed. But with With that being said, he talked about being honest, right? Being honest with the players, right? Hitting them right between the eyes with truth every day and putting the work in. Now, some players can respect that. Some players can um, appreciate that. And then some players can't handle the truth, right? They can't handle the truth. And the truth becomes too much. And so they decide to take their talents elsewhere. And then for other players, they can handle the truth, but maybe the talent just doesn't work out. It is what it is. But this is part of it. And shout out to E. Brown, the Borator. E. Brown talked about talent. And there's some guys who come in and their high school talent doesn't translate to college, whether it's on the field, whether it's off the field issues, whether it's scheduling, like they can't handle the schedule, they can't handle the intensity. Maybe they were coddled in high school the entire time. And when they get to college, it's the real deal. And they just can't handle it. And so, with that being said, hey, it is what it is. So, let's go ahead and jump on this thing. Like I said, we're here for a good time, not a long time. I want to hear what you guys got to do. Let me know if everything is up, if the microphone sounds good, if you got enough, if it's enough volume in the microphone. Let me know if it's loud enough. Please let me know that, because for some reason the monitor is saying it's giving a low output, but I just want to make sure you guys can hear me clear. All right. And then Shaka, here we go. Why do you feel like we should keep recruiting high school quarterbacks? Short answer, yes. The question is, on the flip side, if I'm a high school quarterback, do I come to major college football programs? This is not a Miami issue. This is a college football issue. Thank you, T. Hines. There you go. Appreciate it, T. Hines. Thank you. This is a college football issue. Are you a kid, especially in the top programs, are you going to constantly be recruited over, right? Like we saw, for example, let's take Ohio State the previous year. They recruited over their guys, and they brought in Will Howard. Well, this year they stuck with their guy. Not Ty Simpson. What's the kid name? Julian Sand. Okay. But then you had kids there like Aaron Nolan and so forth and so on. So it can be tough. It can be tricky, because the thing about the quarterback position, it's only one of them. Quarterbacks don't rotate in and out unless you got some kind of packaging deal going. But for the most part, quarterbacks are who they are. They're going to start and they're going to finish the game, unless due to injury or something else. So I think, do we still recruit high school quarterbacks? Of course. But Jason, to your point real quick before I get the Shock on the line, do you come to a big-time university if you're not maybe one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the country that year? That's really the question. Because of the transfer portal, you can constantly be getting jumped over. And the easy excuse for the colleges is, oh, well, we're going to give you time to develop. Well, before you know it, you turn into Emory Williams. And I'm not trying to poke any fun at him, but you come in, spend 4 years, you do your thing a little bit, you get hurt, you put down, and then now it becomes the same question with what we currently have now in Luke Nickel, right? To bring it back to Miami, you look at Luke Nickel, say, okay, all right, I come in, y'all want to bring Carson back. Matter of fact, was it Cam Ward, I believe, and Carson Beck. Now you bringing in Darian Mensah. So what happened next year? Is it my turn? And the more you kind of trust that process as a young kid, as a young quarterback, you're losing time on the clock. But hell, who cares at this point? You got dudes playing 6, 7, 8 years in college. So I guess it don't matter. All right. But with all that being said, I appreciate it. Thank you. 862-799-9956. Please feel free to call on in. I'm going to take our first call of the night. And my man Shaka, talk to us, man. What's on your mind, brother? Did you see the interview?
What up, Coach?
What's happening?
Which interview you talking about, Coach?
He just did an interview with Greg McElroy over there on ESPN, college football. I thought it was a very good interview. I'm not sure if you saw it or not, but all you gotta do is just type it in; it'll come up. It was a pretty good interview.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What they was touching on, if you don't mind me asking.
A little bit of everything, man. They talked about the culture. Like I said earlier in the show, they talked
Okay.
about fits when they're recruiting guys. You know, what are they looking for when they recruit them? Roster retention, the playoff bracket, Darian Mensah, O line development. I mean, it was action packed. It was about a 20-minute interview, but gave a lot of insight into the program.
So what's the main topic today, Coach? What you were just talking about as far as recruiting high school quarterbacks, or just a general
Just talking
state
football.
of
We're
the
just
program
talking.
of the year, or
No,
just
yeah, we're
talking
just talking
football for
Miami.
you?
I kind of want to break
Um,
down that particular
okay.
interview, but yeah, we're just talking in general. If there's something you want to talk about in particular,
I mean, as far as the recruiting high school quarterbacks, I feel like you still got to do it because, I mean, what happens when eventually, it's all good when you get Cam Moore, and I guess Beck wasn't my personal favorite, but I guess he worked out to a certain extent. But then what happens when, and I feel like Mensa will too, but what happens when one of these guys you bring in as a transfer just totally bomb out, as a dud, then everybody gonna flip the other way and say we need to. I think you got to hit on the high school kids sooner or later. I feel like Darian Coleman might be the one.
okay. Why is
I
that?
feel, and I think if, huh?
Why do you think Darian Coleman
You
is
said
one
what?
over? Yeah, over. Let's say
I
no
just
versus Luke
things
Nichols.
I've seen on tape. I mean, you never know. You never know. Obviously it's high school ball. You don't know how it's gonna translate, like you said. But based on what I've seen, I feel like he's gonna end up. He need a little weight on his frame, no doubt. But I think he's gonna turn into something. And I think to my thinking, when you finally do hit on a high school quarterback, it frees up a lot of NIL money to go in other directions and get more talent on the roster at other positions instead of having to, some of these veteran quarterbacks getting $5 and $6, $7 million.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather get a freshman that proves to be the truth and get him for cheap while he's young. You know what I'm saying? And free up some money to go in other directions early in that quarterback's career. So I think that could be. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know how realistic it is long term to get a great quarterback year after year after year after year in the portal. Like at some point you probably miss on one of them, or one of them won't live up to what they was. You know what I'm saying? And then that'll probably cause an uproar, and then we're gonna want to say why we ain't bringing in our own talent and developing our own recruits or whatever, whatever.
Right.
I like the portal, but I still like to think you got to build most of your roster with high school talent
Mm-hmm.
and supplement the roster with the portal. I don't think you can
Makes
build a
sense.
whole roster just transfer portal talent. Well, I guess Indiana did it a lot this year, but even with them, I don't know how sustainable that is because it's like if you got 40 plus transfers, yeah, you can do what Indiana did this year, but then how realistic, like, for example, how realistic is it they're going to get another Mendoza, another quarterback out the portal to be the first pick of the draft? Like, maybe they do, but I doubt it. I don't think you're going to do that back to back years. So they'll probably have a drop off at the quarterback position.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they're hyping up Signetti, so it looks like they're going to be around and stay for a while, as long as he there, I guess. But I don't know. I still think you got to go the high school route as far as recruiting.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah, most
or,
definitely. But I
or
just,
go ahead, coach.
but
My
I was
bad.
just saying when you look at the quarterback position, um, you know, it's hard, Shaka. Big Mike, I got you. I'm coming to you. Give me 1 second. It's hard though, bro, because the stage in the landscape of college football or football in general, you can even look at the NFL. I mean, you got my man over there, was Vrabel over there in New England, first year going to the Super Bowl. He messing up the
Right,
bell. He messing up the bell curve, dog. Right. And so when these owners see that, they like, I want to hire a guy. They can go to the Super Bowl in the first year, whether they win it or not and get embarrassed. Hell, look what they were to what they. I mean, think about Bill Belichick was there doing what they did. Then you have what, 4 years of downtime, 5 years of maybe down years, and then you back at the Super Bowl. Like
right.
that's not a long time to be down. Go ask the Dallas Cowboys, right? Like think about it. Go ask the Dallas Cowboys who've been trying to get there forever. when when Robert Kraft has what 5 kind of down years in particular compared to
Right.
what when they had that run. So guys like that mess up the bell curve. A guy like Kurt Signetti, this is no knock to him, but this is the observation. He messes up the bell curve, right? In 2 years, he takes a program like Indiana, who has never been on anybody's radar at whatsoever at any
Right.
juncture to win a national championship. And in 2 years, he wins the Natty. Hell, his first year, phenomenal job, right? His second year actually wins the Natty. So now
Right.
everybody's chasing I call it the fool's goal because he's the anomaly, right? The anomaly is what Kurt Signetti did. The anomaly is what Mike Vrabel has done. But everybody wants to take the exception and make it the rule. And the rule is kind of what Mario Cristobal has done. Use that 4 or 5 years to get your program going. And that's exactly what he is. The fourth year, now going into his fifth year. And you every year you've seen the progression. And so,
Right.
excuse me, to that being said, that's usually the problem in life. And that's why a lot of people fail because they're chasing the exception and not the rule. And they're trying to recreate the exception.
Yeah. Yeah, that make a lot of sense, Coach. Because I don't. Yeah, I agree with that. Because even though Signetti pulled it off, I think it's kind of like a hard thing to duplicate. Because, like you said, everybody gonna try to find that exception, but it was kind of like a unique situation because he was the coach at James Madison, right?
Correct.
He coached at James Madison.
That's correct.
Right. If I'm not mistaken, he brought like a dozen guys from there. So even with a lot of transfers that he brought, there was a lot of continuity with them guys. And, some of them guys, 22, 23, 24 years old, had played together 3-4 years.
Correct.
So that's kind of hard to duplicate in the portal. Not too many times you're going to be able to bring 10, 12 people from one school with you.
Right.
So, yeah, I agree with you. It's going to be hard to duplicate that. But in a way, he kind of changed the landscape in a certain way because, now it changes. It gives like the mid-majors and middle of the pack programs hope that they could turn around in a similar fashion because at least there's another blueprint now, because everybody can't get the 5-star and a bunch of 4-star guys, but it's another route now. If you could get a bunch of veteran 21, 22, 23-year-old players from MAC schools or wherever it might be and bring them over, you know what I'm saying? Because you got to ask yourself now, what can you get more out of a 21, 22-year-old veteran college player? Or even if a kid's a 5-star out of high school at 18, a 21, 22, 23-year-old is probably better after 4 years being, in most cases, just because they got that grown man strength. They stronger, they bigger, they, you know what I'm saying? Been in the weight room, been on training tables. So it's a different way to get this. It's like, what's the old saying? It's more than one way to skin a cat now, you know what I'm saying? So it's all how you look at it.
100%.
Everybody can't beat Miami or Ohio State, get all the 5 stars. So it's going to be interesting going forward, man. It's going to be interesting going forward. It's a lot of parity in college football now.
A lot. It is rearing its head. You talk about leveling out. This thing is leveling out for real, man.
Right.
Because people can't stockpile these players because they can dip. But yeah, Shaka, man, I appreciate you calling. You the first one on the line. I got Big Mike back there hanging out. So I'm getting him here in a second.
All right, do thing, Coach.
But I appreciate you, man. For sure.
When the next time you gonna be on the air, Coach? After the night.
What's today? Wednesday? Which I'll try to get back on, but typically we're gonna do the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday shows.
Okay, cool.
All right.
All right, Coach.
My man. I appreciate it. All right. All right. Shout out to, I believe this is Dub City on Cash App for the $5. He says, this is for the jive turkey that's always late. Cut me some slack, Jack. Golly. Cut me some slack, Jack. That's funny. All right, appreciate that. That's on Cash App for the $5 up in there. Real quick, before I get to Big Mike, somebody brought up something that was big. Shout out to Ellen V in the building. Ellen V, look at that hardest working lady out here on these YouTube streets. She done already dropped the Mario Cristobal interview, so you can check it out there. That don't mean leave just yet, right? Do me a favor, click it. You're gonna go over there and then come back, and then it'll be in your history, your YouTube history. So you have to go searching for it. Okay. It was something else I wanted to say. Somebody. Oh, Katie says, Coach, we have zero experience behind Mensa. He could go down anytime. What then? Miami has to start developing quarterback recruits. You know what? You bring a very valid point, Katie, and I've been saying that was we have to find ways. And that's what was interesting this year. As great and as well as we did. And I understand it's a tough feat. When you're Carson Beck and numbers matter, meaning stats matter, right? Completions matter, percentages matter. At the end of the day, nobody's going to go back and say, oh, he threw 80% against Bethune-Cookman and 80% against Ball State. That's going to factor into his overall record when he plays tougher teams, because they'll go back and say, oh, well, look, he was 80% completion, 70% completion rating. And I'm bringing that up to say that's the hard part of juggling in college football when you want to get younger guys some playing opportunities. If you're not consistently blowing cats out, like beating them by 30, where a Luke Nickel can come in and play 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter, he can do that 3 times a year, 4 times a year. You're playing the Bethune-Cookman or the I don't know, Ball State or hell, even South Florida, whoever, where those guys can get some OJT, on the job training. It's tough to get them some true game experience. Yeah, you can play in the scrimmage in the spring and all that stuff, but it's not the same. A simulator is not real. That's why it's called a simulator. It simulates. You understand? And so to your point, kid, you have a very good point. And this is why I believe a lot of guys are going into the transfer portal. Why? Think about that. Mensa now has game experience and a lot of it. So I don't have to worry about him getting acclimated to the speed of college football. Right? I don't have to worry about him getting acclimated to the speed of the game. He just has to get acclimated to the speed of our players versus, let's say, a guy like Luke Nickel, even Darian Coleman or whoever, hell, Judd Anderson. Not only do they have to get acclimated to, the atmosphere, the lights, and the this and the that, but they also have to get acclimated to the speed of the game. And here's a perfect example. If you take Miami last year, right? Let's say we win every game we won and we lost the same game. But the difference is that brand new quarterback coming in and he takes a loss against Notre Dame last year. We're not in the playoffs. And that's the juggling act. That's the tightrope act right there. I believe we could say Carson Beck or whatever, but a veteran Carson Beck versus a rookie Luke Nickel or a first-time playing Luke Nickel is probably the difference in that win or loss of that particular game. And in today's society, can people stand it? Are people willing to sit in their chair and say, I understand why we're 8-4. I'm cool with why we're 9-3. Nope. And that's the tough part about it. All right. Appreciate that, Katie. Thank you. Well, you must be mad. That boy typed that thing in all caps. Coach, our defense held us back with Cam, 24. We couldn't blow no one out. And then 25 with Beck. Oh, that's true. Right. Okay, I get what you're saying. I couldn't understand. And then with Beck, he couldn't pull away because he was a dink and dunker, and we had a great defense. We took too long to score. Okay, I'll go with what you're saying, Gio. However, at the end of the day, regardless of who or how, the backup quarterback ain't getting no love because he can't get on the football field. So regardless of whose fault it is or whatever, to your point and to what Katie was saying, can't get on the field because we, for whatever reason, because we don't have enough distance in the score. So appreciate it. All right, man, without further ado, Big Mike on the ones and twos. What's up, man? Hope I ain't take too long. Big Mike, talk to me.
What's going on, Coach?
I'm good. I'm good. What's up with you, brother?
Ain't much, ain't much. I just want to touch on a little bit on everything you just said. You know what I'm saying? Starting with the quarterbacks. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? I remember when we talked about it last time. You said you would prefer a quarterback that's not one and done. You know what I'm saying? Someone who can start. You know what I'm saying? I guess 2 years in a row, at least 2 years or 3 years in a row. Am I correct?
Yeah. I mean, I would like to have a guy, me personally, if I could have a Trevor Lawrence situation, I would love it. Like if I could have a guy for 3 years, that would be ideal.
Right. But after he graduates, what then? Because then the backup quarterback, he'll either have one more year because he's behind that said quarterback. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you're gonna go from a 3 year starter
Mhm.
and then go to a freshman or a sophomore who got 3 more years as well. You're gonna go to the man next up, right? You know what I'm saying? Or if he's not quite there, you're gonna go into the portal and get that microwave right now quarterback that's gonna keep the ball rolling.
Right. Well, think about it. That's how. Well, what you're talking about is what people did with quarterbacks before you had a transfer portal, right? You still recruit quarterbacks, but what you're looking at is okay, who is the guy after Trevor Lawrence? Who is the guy? And to me, that's actually where Clemson fell off. Just take it to Clemson. Prior to Trevor Lawrence, Clemson was hitting on quarterbacks, man, and they didn't have a transfer portal. They had Kelly
Right.
Bryant, they had Todd Boyd, they had guys, right? And if you think about this, if you hit on those quarterbacks and you find out, think how long Clemson was good because the quarterback situation was good, right? That's a decade right there. We only talking three quarterbacks, 10
Right.
years, three quarterbacks. When, if you go look at it, we on our third quarterback in 3 years. Like, so I get where you're coming from. So, but to your point is, if you look at Clemson when they had their run, who was the quarterback? Deshaun Watson. Forgot about him, right? If you hit on quarterback, you have him for some time. It gives you time. But if you look at us, we Mario Cristobal has had a new quarterback all 4 years he's been here. Again, not a knock. I'm just talking about. Imagine if you could have a guy like Cam Ward for 3 years, a 3 year starter, right? And I know that's ideal, and I might be in fantasy land. I get it. But imagine if you could have him, and then you had, let's say, I don't know, Darian Mensa for 3 years. And then you go in and find a Darian Coleman for the next 3 years. But 3 times 3 is 9. His contract will be up, and I'll be retired. Versus we on our fourth quarterback in 4 years. So,
Right.
you know,
I think
yeah, go ahead.
I just think he Mario needs to get it established first. You know what I'm saying? For that to happen. Again, he came let Mario say he came in with the covers bare. You know what I'm
Uh
saying?
huh.
And so he has to go to the transfer portal now. But once like Derek Coleman comes in, maybe he starts after nickel. You know what I'm saying? He still has 3 years of eligibility. Then that's when the domino will fall like that. You know what I'm saying? But we have to give him time to get those high school quarterbacks. You're gonna have to plug in some transfer portal because as fans and as consumers, we want that microwave ready meal. We want, you know what I'm saying? We want them year after year to compete. So, we don't want to wait for that development to happen. I mean, it can happen in the background, but right now we want something right now.
Yeah, 10,000%. We want to win right now. And I think Mario Cristobal understands that. He understands that, and I guess to that, he knows that what? This fan base ain't gonna sit there and wait 4-5 years for us to develop a guy. And you have the transfer portal.
Right.
I have a cheat code, in essence, for lack of a better term. I got a cheat code right here, and I'm not going to use it. Right? I got a cheat code, and I'm not going to use it. So guess what? He's using it. I understand that. But going back to your question of, what I said previously about having a guy with 3 years, and I said this before, if we didn't have a guy, let's say we didn't have a Darian Minson, and I'm good with Darian Minson, don't get me wrong. But let's just say we didn't. As Coach Hayes on this show, y'all know I could be very critical sometimes. If we started off with Luke Nickel and went 8-4, I wouldn't even be mad. Only thing I want to make sure is we were competitive. I wouldn't be mad. I just want to make sure we were competitive. That's it. That we competed strongly in every one of those games. And I saw him get better as the season went on. As a coach, from a coach's perspective, from a coach's lens, I don't have a problem with it whatsoever. Now, if you go that route and he don't look that good, then coach got something to say. I just calling it what it is.
I think it would go that way if more people thought like you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of I don't know who's pushing the buttons, you know what I'm saying? Thought like you know what I'm saying? We'll go that route. But I think a lot of fans and what's pushing programs right now is that they want that instant good playing for playoff games and championships. We want that now. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's willing to wait. But on the other question, 2 more questions, Coach. On that Signetti, the outlier, man, I looked at his JMU record. Man, he was winning when he started at JMU. In 2019, he went 4-2 and was like a national champs runner-up. So, I mean, I know you say it's an outlier, but I mean, it's just like proving that he said what he said. He's a winner. Google him. And like each year, except for that COVID year where he went 7-1, and it was shortened. I mean, but every year after that, he was in the finals and something, and in his last year in 2023, he actually won the Sun Belt. But I'm just looking at it as that I don't see any FBS coaches winning like that and then moving up. A lot of them now they're winning 1 year and then moving up. But he's shown that he won 4 or 5 years at JMU, won convincingly, and then he, what I'm saying, taking those players and it transfer. But the question is, now that he's pretty much on the pinnacle of college football, he's going to lose those good players to the NFL draft. You think he's capable of replacing players and going through that kind of gauntlet of losing his good players now and still be good next year?
Well, I'm gonna go back. First thing is all that you just said. That's what makes him an outlier. You just said it. He's doing what nobody else is doing. You got guys that may be winning 1 year at the FBS level, right? He's doing it consistently. Then he came to Indiana, right? He didn't go to Michigan. He didn't go to LSU. He didn't go to a team that was considered stacked and great. I'm not saying that Indiana was, but we're talking about when you think of Indiana football, what do you think of? Prior to these past 2 years, when you think Indiana football, what do you think of? Absolutely nothing. Let's be honest.
Right.
Nothing. Most people didn't even know.
Is Notre Dame in Indiana or?
Yes.
Where's Notre Dame?
Yes, it's in Indiana, South Bend. But what I'm saying is, Most people didn't even know what conference Indiana was in.
Right.
I'm just being honest. So when he comes there, even though as well as he did, what? How did it translate? Well, guess what? Billy Napier won at Louisiana Monroe or Lafayette or wherever he was at. He got to Florida. How did it translate? He got fired. Right? And we're going to see right now what they do with the guy Sam. What's the guy named Sam over there now? That was winning at Tulane. Let's see how that translates. So what I'm saying is him winning is what makes him the outlier, and that's what everybody's chasing. They're chasing the carrot that's on the treadmill. Second question, and then I'm gonna get to Slammy J. Shout out to Slammy J on Twitter. He left a comment. I'm gonna get to that here in a second. Can he do it? Well, I'll say this. His past record has shown he has. He's probably had guys that's graduated or been poached from JMU to the bigger programs, and he continued to win. Right? Now that he's losing guys to the NFL, he may take a dip, but he may not. The man felt confident saying, all I do is win, Google me. So, with that being said, and he just won the Natty, I guess they got money. Mark Cuban out here giving out 20-something million. They say, I don't know if that's true or not. But trust me, when you win, people gonna put in. Ooh, put that on a t-shirt. God doggone it. When you win, they gonna put in. Man, I'm finna get me a shirt. When you win, people gonna put in. They gonna put their money in, right? You don't see people putting money in losing programs. People gonna put their money in the winning program. And right now, he's the hottest coach out there, right? They just gave him, after 1 year, they extended his contract. They put more money into it. You got people. When you ever seen Mark Cuban at an Indiana football game? Never.
Right.
Never. Now he on the sideline. Because when you win, Mark Cuban show up. When you lose, he's just a proud alumni. Let's go Hoosiers. Right?
Right. That's facts. It's been facts, Coach. Yes. And then one more question, Coach. The receivers. I watched that interview with McElroy and Mario.
Okay.
He touched on the receivers, right? Obviously, we got our receiver depth is incredible. How do you approach that as a coach? How do you? Because I'm thinking right now there's no starter. The amount of talent that's in that receiver room is no real starters. You're looking at packages. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, I'm thinking like what gives me the best opportunity at these moments, these downs, these situations. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get a group in there for these certain situations because all of them are talented. I mean, obviously Malachi will be in the receiver we got, Cooper, will be in most of those packages, but like incorporating other guys because it's just a lot of those guys came in. You want to get some of the freshmen, Wingo and Stafford in. How do you approach that?
Okay, how would I approach it and how I think Miami approach it are two different answers. I'm about to be super petty right now. That's my name, Petty Pendergrass. Here's what I'm going to say. Maybe it was the show Monday, I believe, when I was talking about the packaging of the 2-minute drill. Were you on this show when I talked about that? Yeah, that had to be Monday's show. That was Monday's show. The packaging and the 2-minute drill, and we kept the tight end. Golly, I can't believe I'm talking about this again, but the tight end was out there the whole time in the 2-minute drill. Not at the tight end spot, but at the receiver spot. And
right, I remember that.
Right, okay. And we didn't package guys then. So what makes us think we finna package guys now? The package is going to be whoever go out there and start. I don't think we're going to have to where I think you're alluding is we're going to have packages of, when we want to run this kind of stuff, we bring in this group of guys. And then maybe we want to do this, we bring that group of guys. Am I correct?
Yeah. Speed, you know.
Right.
You want guys that speed,
I
stretch the field. You want, you know what I'm saying? You need a consistent hands team that, you know what I'm saying? For, for like, those critical yards, those fourth downs, third, the ones that you need to have. You know what I'm saying? Those, I'm not, you know,
No,
I don't know.
I get what you're saying.
Definitely.
And that's what I was saying. But like everybody told me, man, well, coach, that's what worked for them all season. Was Bowman out there doing his thing, and it worked. And we still got down the field. So, based on that particular logic, I don't think we'll have packages. We'll have a starter, and we may have an alternate for something in particular, but I don't think you'll have packages like you said, speed and stretch the field and so forth. You may have some personnel where you want to go double tight. That's not packages to me, even though it is, but what you're speaking about is something totally different. What I believe Miami's going to do is do what they've been doing. Whoever their 3 wide receivers and a tight end is, that's your starting 4 receivers.
So how do you get all these receivers in the game? Like, I mean,
they ain't do it last year, and they ain't do it the year before that. I'm just saying, wow. if you go look at Miami historically, what is the receiver rotation since Shannon Dawson? And again, I'm not blaming him. I'm trying to answer the question. Name the receiver rotation since Shannon Dawson's been there. There has not been any. You might get one guy in case somebody get winded or hurt, but we're talking about where guys rotate in certain packages. We take this. I don't see it, and that's okay. That's what they want to do. And I actually had to concede on that and say, you know what? Forget what I want. You're right. They've been successful running the tight end out there in a 2-minute drill with 51 seconds and no timeouts. If that's what you like it, then I love it. Right? But for me personally, I wouldn't have the slower body out there. I would have the faster body because of the scenario. That's just me. But again, they were successful at doing it. And that's something else Coach Cristobal talked about in the interview. Understanding, looking at stuff, pre-snap, post-snap, talking about on the sideline. All the things I've been talking about, he mentioned it right there. He mentioned it in that interview. That's that. DP, what's up, baby? I see you on the line. I'm coming to you.
All right, Coach, man. Let me let you get these other callers in, man. Thank you for answering my questions, man.
Anytime,
very insightful.
Yeah. Anytime, brother. Anytime. Much love to you, man. Be safe out there, man.
I will. Keep it between the lines, brother.
There you go. Hey, eyes open between the lines. There you go. Love it. All right. Shout out to Big Mike in there, man. Slammin' J, that was on Twitter, had a question. He says, Coach Hayes, how many QBs are capable enough to get to the playoffs? It seems like there are a lot of QBs, but like the NFL, not all of them can reach the playoff. But to give you a quick funny answer, Slammin' J, there's 12 of them. I'm here all week, ladies and gentlemen. Why is it 12 of them? Because there's only 12 spots in the playoffs. I'm not trying to be funny, Slim J, but on a serious note, I don't know how to answer this. How many QBs are capable enough to get to the playoffs? It seems like there's a lot of QBs, but like the NFL, not a lot of them can reach the playoff. And here's what I'll say. And I know this is going to sound crazy. A lot of times fans, people, even commentators, talking heads, we put so much on the quarterbacks, as we should. But they're not only the reason you make it to the playoffs. There's a whole defense out there. There's a whole special teams, right? There are guys, for example, based on what you're just telling me right now, Cam Ward didn't make it to the playoffs. Was it his fault? Hell no. Cam Ward did not make it to the playoffs for the Miami Hurricanes. And every day of the weekend, twice on Sunday, everybody here would take Cam Ward over national championship runner-up Carson Beck? And who went further? Who went further? Did Carson Beck go further than Cam Ward? Of course. But I'm saying all that to say it's a team game. But we always think it's like tennis. It's Venus and Serena. Like, it's a one-man sport, and it's really not. It's so nuanced, and that's why I love this sport. It's so nuanced. There's so many different moving pieces. Right? There you go. Shot where they say Cam over. Hey, Slammy J on Twitter. Appreciate that. Thank you for the question. Cam over Beck all day. Everybody would. Everybody would. But based on what he was saying was who can make it to the playoffs. I think we have to understand it's a team sport. Because Cam didn't make it to the playoffs. He might be light years better than Carson Beck. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully that answers the question. Gil, what's up with you, buddy? We're in the building. All right, let me take my man DP in the building. Daryl Page talking sports with Daryl Page. What's up, baby?
What it do, Coach? What's going on, baby? How you been doing?
Man, I'm fighting with this microphone for a minute, man. You know, you in the business, man. My mic seems like it's not giving some output, man. Do I sound low or I sound good?
You sound good to me. I hear you all clear. You feel me? Right. I was watching you too before I called you. You sounded clear when I was watching you.
All right. Well, let's go.
Yeah, man. The goal this upcoming season, it should be, man, ACC championship, man. There should be no reason why we shouldn't get there and win that thing. You showed us we can get to the natty, man. So now we just gotta get a guaranteed spot back into the playoffs, and that would be winning the ACC championship game. Because the schedule really don't look tough. The best game you got is Notre Dame, but the thing with Notre Dame, if they finish in the top 12, they get a automatic spot ready to beat them or not. So our guaranteed ticket is the ACC championship game. You got a quarterback, you got a running game, you got a D line, and I think between Ahmad Moten and Josh Scott, we gonna get some a little bit of what we got from Ruben Bain and Mesidor between the defensive tackles. But we also got the defensive ends, you feel me, to do their thing. Also out of Hayden Lowe, Lightfoot, throw a little Marlo Blunt. So, you know, we're looking nice, Cole. We're looking nice for next season, man, or this upcoming season, per se.
Oh, I agree. I think they've done a phenomenal job with player acquisition, talent evaluation. As a matter of fact, I learned something. We're only losing 4.
What's up?
We're only losing 4. But based on what Greg McElroy said in the interview, we're only losing 4 players with 100+ snaps. That's it.
Oh, man. That's lovely. I ain't realized that neither.
Yeah, that's something I learned. So, I mean, I just learned it from that interview. And like I said, shout out to LMV, who just put that information up there in the chat, as well as she just threw DP stuff up here as well. Y'all go check out my man DP.
Shout out to LMV, man. She's a real one.
Yeah. E. Brown says, I'm low. No, your hearing aid low, E. Brown. Turn your hearing aid up, man.
Yeah, turn that hearing aid up. And you got to get a new one. You probably can't use that one from 1950 that you got. It's 2026 now, E. Brown. You got to update that hearing aid. They got some new high-tech stuff. Look like it ain't even in your ear. Look like a little iPad or something, like you on the phone.
And that boy got a hearing aid with a AA battery in that thing. He ain't even got the round battery.
Yeah. He still got the little brown one. You think you got a kilo in.
Hey, DP. Hey, slap yourself. Go to sleep right now, boy. Go to bed right now. I ain't seen them in forever. That big brown one. Said they got a kilo in
the little brown.
With the big wire to hang out. With the big wire.
I'm trying to tell you.
Oh, man.
I seen him when I was a little baby. But yeah, man, I honestly, from when you very first started covering the program, Coach, to where we at now, man, I really didn't think we was going to get there with what we ended up at last year. Even though we didn't win the whole thing, it was just beautiful to see that run we went on, just to see all the hard work them young men put in, and it showed for them. You feel me? They put in that hard work, and it showed up for me. It wasn't all for naught. Even though they didn't win the big game, which everybody wish they would have won the big game, but they had a chance to win the big game.
Mm-hmm. No, listen, no knock on that whatsoever. To your point, 1000%. That's funny, man. Matter of fact, LMV said his hearing aid fell in the applesauce. Matter of fact, I got y'all don't believe it. I got a picture of E. Brown with his first hearing aid right here. Y'all want to see it? That's E. Brown first hearing aid right there. He still got that one right there. That boy tripping, man. I don't know why. You got to clean that thing out, E. Brown. Talking about y'all low. But
it's built up with earwax and all, man. Go clean that thing, bro.
Yeah, he got the old school hearing aid. And that's matter of fact, that's E. Brown right there. Matter of fact, as we speak.
Oh man, you wild, coach.
No, I'm just saying that's E. Brown. That's my dog. But anyway, shout out to E. Brown and his hearing aid. But anyway, we back.
Yeah, we losing some coaches too. I see, coach, man. But honestly, we had lost Joseph Badai also. We ain't really do too bad replacing him with Zach Effort. So I feel like whoever we replace him with, it's gonna be a good pickup. But I also see I can't think of the title that the guy had, but I think he was over the health of the players, making sure they was able to medically ready to get back out there and play. I can't remember the title, but he got hired to the Giants, the New York Giants also. So I think that's going to be a key factor because for the most part, it seemed like our guy was healthy pretty much for the most part throughout the season. We have a whole bunch of guys getting injured.
You talking about the strength and conditioning coach, the guy that took over when my man with the mustache left?
No, not him. It was somebody, I can't think of the position. I can't think of the guy name either. But he got hired at the New York Giants. He was over the health of the players, you feel me? I guess he was putting them, not a strength and conditioning coach, but it's a coach. You know they got a lot of titles these days, coach, you feel me? They trying to get that money out there. So I can't necessarily remember the name. I had watched I want to say Kane's Insight. They was talking about it today.
Okay.
I wish I would have had that name to tell you so I can be accurate. But yeah, we had another guy on the staff. He also got hired to the New York Giants.
Yeah, Zach Etheridge and Matt Merritt, the running back coach, defensive back coach / pass game coordinator, got hired at the Cardinals. Cody Woodall, the tight end coach, has left and went on to Ole Miss. Okay, I'm trying to see what the guy named. Somebody put in the chat. Oh, A. Bennett. A. Bennett?
Yeah, I think that might be who it is. It's a guy, he got a beard. It really is a white dude. Can't really think of his name. Because you don't really see a lot of these coaches that be behind the scenes like that much unless you're really looking for them on the sideline. Yeah. But he had to do with, the health part of the players and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's A. Bennett, so I don't know. We'll definitely see. But
and then we also Cole McConkey, the former defensive end, he also turned to a tight end. So he will be playing tight end now coming into the next season. So I guess he's seen there was a lot of players in that defensive end room. So I guess my dog said he wanted to get some playing time, so he went in the tight end room.
Well, I hope he can play. Our tight end, we ain't here.
Yeah.
I hate to say it like that. That's not true. That's not true. I mean, Elijah Arroyo. I was gonna say, I'm waiting for the Shockey, man. The Brevin Jordan. I'm looking for the tight end that's like. I'm looking for the tight end that's like phenomenal.
Coach, you need to check out Galvin Mueller high school tape. It's probably on Huddle. I ain't really see it on YouTube, but his Huddle highlight tape, Galvin Mueller. The young man, nice. He was lining up at wide receiver, quarterback, tight end, D end. He was playing everything in high school. Man, got some nice highlights. And he in the strength and conditioning program right now. I want to say he's 6'5", 250. He built like a stud, man. So he might do something nice for us too, the freshman that's coming in. So look out for Galvin Mueller, everybody.
Hold on, I'm looking at it right now. He went to South Elgin High School.
Yeah, I want to say yeah, somewhere upstate.
Let me look at him. He went to it's in Illinois, South Elgin.
Yeah. He nice, coach. He nice. I ain't gonna lie. He got something to work with for real. Right. We might got a little stocky in him.
Y'all said that about Jackson and everybody. Man, his first play, he had quarterback.
And was it man at quarterback, slot receiver. Now, mind you, Coach, I don't know if he playing against some poor little Timmys out there, because he ain't playing no Florida football. But hey, he looked like he taking advantage of the opportunity.
Hold up, I'm looking at this. Yes, this is again. I'm not knocking him. This is poor little Timmy Central right here, dog.
Yeah, that's why I say I seen a lot of poor little Timmys out there, but I had to give him credit for taking advantage of the poor little Timmys.
Bro, this poor little Timmy Central, dog.
Yeah, I don't know who they were playing, Coach. But just him in general as a player, the young man stacked up, got a lot of potential in the side. He got a weak side as far as the tight end.
Hold up, I know you can't see this, DP. Hey, LJ, I'm coming to you. Give me a second. I'm gonna show y'all something. I'll put this tape up right here. I'm gonna show you.
Yeah, put it on the screen. I'm gonna go to it.
Hold up, I'm gonna show you poor little Timmy Central. Oh my Lord! First of all, see this dude right here? Don't worry about what he is. Look at this dude right here that's covering the slot. First of all, look at the slot that's on the team. Bro,
I'm looking at it now, Coach.
Look at the back pedal, dog. Now, he the same one finna try to make this tackle. He the same one that's going to try to make this tackle, bro. It's the same kid. Look at this.
Yeah, I say he playing some polar teams now, Coach, but he taking advantage of.
Hold up. Look at the other dude that's running. Look at this cat that's running right here on the 45-yard line. He hurt his own back, dog. Wow, he gonna grab his back and start running. Ain't nobody hit him or nothing. He hurt his own back. Watch his back. Watch him hold his back at the end. Watch this.
The way he running is like he's straining trying to get there, Coach.
I tweaked it, Coach.
This is the perfect time to have a little poor little Timmy walk across the screen.
Bro, look
I tried my best, Coach.
Look at this dude, dog. Look at the dude trying to stiff on him. This is no bueno, Coach. I'm not talking about the player. I'm talking about this dude that's what are we doing, Coach?
Don't tell me he taking advantage of him, Coach. He too big for them boys.
Is this a private school, bro?
Every time he taking it to the crib, Coach, the tight end.
Now look at the difference right here on this play. Buddy has some cojones. He jumped up in his face. Not bad coverage, but the kid was 6'5", 6'6". Like,
yeah, he's 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah, so I dig it.
But I feel like we could be able to utilize. The young man come in with some moxie. He got the size. He got the athleticism to be a nice tight end, especially with all the other weapons that we got around him to take a little attention off of him.
All right, I'm gonna do the last one. Look at the corner right here, and I got LJ on. Look at the corner right here. He don't even realize it's an unbalanced formation. He covering nobody. They don't even block him. He don't even.
They didn't ran right by him.
Look, he don't even pinch the dude. Watch this. Look at this, dog. All right, that's enough of that. I had to WRE him later. I can't take it though. That's too much pressure. Shout out to that kid, man. But
yeah. I told you he playing a lot of polo teams out there, Coach. So I got to see what he do on the college level. But the size, I like the size.
Somebody said I need to check my microphone. My microphone low?
I don't know. You sound clear to me.
I want to say, hey, Coach, check your microphone. Maybe E. Brown ain't hard-headed.
Testing. But all right, Coach, man, I had to come holler at you, man. It's all love, my guy.
Bro, that was Po Lil, Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike. That was Po Lil, everybody up in that joint, man. But anyway, let me get this thing going. I gotta find myself with this microphone. I'm getting hot.
You sound clear to me. I don't know, but yeah, you can check it out, my guy.
All right, man. Appreciate it, dog. Let me get LJ on this line, man. Let's chop it up. DP. Oh, he hung up. I meant to say plug DP and stuff. I was trying to look at the microphone. Y'all go check out my man Daryl Page, Talking Sports with DP. Daryl Page on YouTube. LMV has already thrown it in the chat. I believe she put it up here somewhere, man. Y'all go check out my man. He got all type of content going. Been a friend of this channel for a long time, man. Shout out to DP in the building, man. Much love. Everybody sound good on their end. So I don't know. We got to get it checked out. You sound clear. Thanks, Tion. Maybe Twitter tripping with the hearing. Okay, I don't know. All right, let me get my man LJ on the line. LJ, this is a polio team.
Coach Hayes.
LJ.
Coach Hayes.
I said LJ.
Coach Hayes.
LJ.
Coach Hayes.
Man, that junk over there trash, boy. That junk trash over there, boy. What's up? What's up with you, bro?
Nut, man. I heard y'all over there talking about the tight ends, man. So I said, have no fear. Israel Briggs is coming. Well, he's there. So we got another Elijah Arroyo in the making.
Okay.
Probably not Jeremy Shockey. That kid who you just showed, Mike, he got potential to be like a Shockey Olsen type of guy. He even though he's going against a bunch of poor little Timmies, he showed me some. He showed me some. You know, he showed me that he could do a lot of things or whatever. Like other than just play tight end, he could line up at quarterback, take the ball and run it in. He could move around with the ball a little bit.
LJ, you stop this right now. You stop this right now. You think. See, this is why I be telling y'all got to stop. Oh, all right. Don't do this, Hayes. Stay focused, man. Tell the holler at me, man. Stay focused. Don't do this. Let the people live. But LJ, I know you know better. If this was Brown calling,
they're gonna be better than the tight end we had last year. They're gonna be better than 87.
Y'all said that about Riley Williams. Y'all said that about Jackson Carver. I'm not saying this won't be. All I'm saying is let's not put the cart before the horse. All I want to say is, do you really think they finna put this dude at Wildcat quarterback?
No.
Okay.
I understand what you're saying, but he showed versatility by getting the quarterback and taking the direct snap. That just showed me versatility. That's all. That's all it is. It ain't great.
Do that. LJ,
I'm looking at it like Miami gonna use him like that. I'm just saying that
LJ,
at least he ain't stiff.
Did you
know what I'm saying?
Did you just see what we saw?
Huh?
Did you just see who he was playing against?
I thought he was playing against.
Okay, let me tell you something. I had a young man that played O-line for me. Went through some health issues. And was taken off the field, but recovered enough to come back like the last 2 games. He played O-line. He was a big boy too. Big boy. To reward him for his recovery, all that he endured, I put him at running back so he could score and have a long-lasting memory of his high school career, which we knew at the end of this last game, I knew that was it for him for high school, for football, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the reason I did it and why I did it, because the team we played the very last year, it was their first year of football ever. They had not scored a touchdown the entire season, and we played them on the last game of the season, and they weren't going to score no touchdown then either. Damn that.
3 mistakes I made with my LLC.
But I gave him an opportunity because of who the opponent was, not because of his skill set. I'm saying all that to say, they got that dude playing quarterback, regardless of his versatility, because it was a Timmy convention out there. I don't care what position. He could have called plays. They didn't even need no coaches to win. The competition was terrible. I'm sorry. But anyway.
It was. But,
I'm sorry. But anyway.
But we got another tight end.
Sorry for
Israel Briggs. Israel Briggs is another tight end. And he ain't playing. His tape ain't, it ain't Polo Timmy's out there. He from California. That kid, like we had Brevin Jordan years ago. So we got another one. He actually on his highlight, he's lined up at receiver. With his size, you can just tell he's gonna play tight end. But
they say he's
that's why
he 206.
That's why I brought Arroyo name up because that's what Arroyo was when he was coming out of Dallas.
LJ, they say he's 206 pounds.
Who that?
Isaiah Briggs. Tell me that ain't true.
And I think he's bigger. I think you go look at his tape. I think he's bigger than that. I think that kid bigger than that. And plus, I think he's gonna beef him up. Because I know he ain't gonna play receiver. We know that over there.
Where is he from?
I mean, he ain't gonna be one of them.
Where is he from?
California. He's from California. So that's two, and then to go along with Mr. My man who returning next year, number 9, Mr. 9, Mr. Lofton. It's like Mr. Lofton. I think Mr. Lofton is gonna be him, one of them ones, and then I think these two is gonna probably like these two and Colin McCartney is gonna probably like it's gonna be out of them. That's gonna be our tight end group. But even still, I think this group is still better than what we had last year. 87. I think all of these dudes could do a little bit better than 87 did last year. Me personally, that's just my personal opinion. They could do better than 87. So if that's their ceiling, it ain't much they got to really do. You know what I'm saying?
Sir. I've seen his tape.
What you think?
Yeah, he ain't no tight end. I'll tell you that. He don't look no different than Joshua Moore. That came out of what you call it. From a body perspective.
Nice. He gonna play tight end.
How big is Joshua
tight
Moore?
End. He's gonna. Joshua Moore like 6'4", 200, like 200 or 195 or something like that. Well, it was 195, so he probably like 6'4", 200 pounds. But I think this dude is thicker than him.
They got him listed at 6'4". University of Miami has him listed at 6'4", 215, freshman.
That's good. So he
I know, but I'm just saying that's what he
225 by the time season starts.
Yeah.
That's about right. He long.
Yeah,
he don't play tight end.
But we don't use tight ends like that.
But he not like Joshua Moore though. Like Joshua Moore is like a little stiff, but he's not like slender like him. He's thicker than Josh Moore. And this dude can run. So, could be like a Brevin Jordan, but he's taller than Brevin Jordan. Brevin Jordan wasn't nothing but like 6'2". I think Lofton is like 6'2" too. They more on the smaller size. But even still, I think as a freshman they do better than the 87s did last year. That's all I'm saying. Like,
I don't think he plays tight end. You know why? I'm gonna just tell you this, just my honest opinion. As long as Shannon Dawson is here, I'm gonna tell you my honest opinion why I don't believe he plays tight end. because we don't package. Going back to them not being petty. Now I'm being observant. We don't package. It ain't like we bring in a guy. We use 87 to play in line, put his hand in the dirt and block, and then we also walk him out wide. I'm sorry, a 215-pound tight end, a 220-pound tight end in this offense ain't gonna cut it. He's not in this offense, because we don't switch them out. See, and I'm telling you that maybe I'm looking at it different. I hear y'all, but a 215-pound, 6'4" guy is not heavy at all by no stretch. Do you think that dude could help against a Ruben Bain type guy, a Mesidor? Hell, you take anybody. What was Abdul Carter? No, he ain't got a chance, a snowball's chance in hell to block them guys at 215 pounds. You got the heart of a pure gorilla.
Yeah, I'm still with the thinking of like how are they thinking about this when they're recruiting these guys. But as far as the blocking tight end, they talking about Jackson Culver, and he's a bigger tight end, and he's more of a blocking type of tight end. So if that's what they use him for, I was thinking more on the Lofton using these guys like how you use Lofton, because Lofton had his chances last year, and then he just got pulverized throughout the year. He was getting popped. He got popped in the Pitt game. He got popped in the SMU game. He was just getting he's just small. Like, he ain't no big dude that could take them licks. And these was like touchdowns and important catches that he couldn't hold on to, and he just got popped and he couldn't hold on to them. So I feel like if we're gonna send some like tight ends out, these are more like receiving type of tight ends that can actually go out and run a route and catch a ball and do some damage.
But LJ, I'm with you.
I just figured like probably use them like that. Use them as a weapon.
But LJ, I'm with you. My only problem is we don't switch out. We use Bowman all year in all scenarios. And everybody beat my head. Hold on, but everybody beat my head. But listen, everybody beat my head. Who's going to be the Bowman
this year?
I know, but everybody beat my head in Monday for asking about changing packages. That's not what we do. We don't do that. We got all the way to the natty and didn't do it. Okay, fine. I'm cool. I concede defeat. I'm on to stay with that train. So based on what you're telling me, that's not what we do. I hear what you're saying, but that's not what we do offensively. We keep the one guy that can play in line, meaning on the line of scrimmage, and attach himself to the tackle, put his hand in the dirt, double team and climb to the linebacker. And they take that same guy and stretch him out and put him at the Z receiver. So
they said Luka Gilbert gonna be the new Bowman.
Okay, who is Luka Gilbert?
He apparently he's on the roster. In Moeller is 6'5", 255. So if we're gonna talk about size and prototype, that dude. Yeah, we just watched him in the Wildcat at quarterback, but he's 6'5", 255. The other tight end is more of a down the field threat type tight end than a blocker. So I look at Briggs, like Briggs could play where Lofton played at, and they could throw the ball to Briggs if they're gonna try to throw to a tight end. You know what I'm saying? Because you can say they don't switch out all you want, but they're gonna have to switch out this year unless somebody emerges as them guys. And I just don't see whoever this Luka Gilbert guy is, the Jackson Culver guy ain't no, he's more of a blocker, extra lineman type tight end. And then we got Lofton. And if Lofton should be better this year coming in. So I expect him to be better. But if we talking about size, since Briggs is 215, then I suppose the Gavin Mueller, I suppose he's 256, 255. That ain't small. He could help out against a Ruben Bain because it's just off the sides on a chip block, not a straight up block, like on a chip block tip. You know what I'm saying? It don't really take that much to chip block Ruben Bain, you know. You know, so you know, but I still feel like, you know, and that's why I said, like, they say this Luka Gilbert is 6'7", 260. So that's like more. That gives me what's the guy who Eric Winston vibes. Remember Eric Winston played tight end he came in tight end at Miami when he was there. He started off at tight end, but when Shockey and Olsen and Winslow and them came, he couldn't really get on the field, so he beefed up and he went to tackle. He ended up playing tackle in the NFL.
And I don't
for
think,
the Texans
and I don't think a guy like, I'm just looking at this Israel Briggs kid. He's 206. If he gets to 230,
he good.
He a regular dude. You talking about putting 20?
That's the same body build that Elijah Arroyo came in at. Came in small, he put weight on, and then he ended up being like a vertical thread. This dude got wheels like that. So that's why it reminded me of him.
Okay. I'm with you, dog.
You know. Now I ain't saying next year if it's gonna be the year. I'm just saying if he's 215 already, he should be about 220, 225 at least when the season starts. With our weight program or whatever like that. So that means by sophomore year he should be treading into the 230s, 235 range. But I look at him as a pass catcher. I don't look at him as a, you know, I got to see how he blocks. But he's probably he's 6'5" still now.
I get that. I just don't see. Okay. I just don't see, based on what we saw, they don't alternate these guys. That's just me. But hey, y'all do your thing. I'm not saying the kid got to come out of high school and be NFL ready. Like a lot of people saying, "Oh, well, he don't come out. He ain't coming." I think it was Shotway right here just said 240. People don't come out of high school 240. Here we go. Everybody ain't 240 at 17. No, I get that. I totally get that. But as long as I'm doing this and I've been evaluating body types and looking at guys' movements and that kind of stuff, and then I'm looking at the style of offense and how we play our offense, I might be wrong as the day is long. But when I tried to say that, everybody beat me across the head. So now that when I'm going but now that I'm going with what we do, now everybody want to go back to what I was saying Monday. I'm trying to make sure I'm understanding. I need to get understanding here.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, when I ask for packaging, shut up, coach. Shut up. Hey, shut up, coach. We won with that. Then when I'm saying, okay, y'all right. We did win. Who am I to talk? Now when I'm telling you based on what we do, shut up, coach. So I don't know what to do. I'm just telling you. I might be wrong. That was just Monday. That was just Monday I got my head kicked in. And today is Wednesday. And I get my head kicked
your head Coach Head should never get kicked in Cage Nation. Y'all tripping.
I'm just saying.
Coach Head should never get kicked in about his expertise on this game. Because
listen, but I'll say this, LJ, I ain't never afraid to say I was wrong. Again, I'm not in the room with those guys. It's just me on the outside looking in. But I'm just saying, from Monday to Wednesday, oh wow, the time has changed.
Well, Coach, you know, I'm a firm believer if that happened.
I know, but
that happened last year, though.
Yeah, but that happened,
and it really didn't happen. It really didn't happen last year too, because I gotta say this. Like it ended up like that with 87 in Lofton. In the beginning of the season, Brock Shocks was getting PT, and I don't know what happened in between them games because I thought we was gonna really use Brock Shocks. Like he was coming on in some of them games, early games, and I was excited. And then after that, I just didn't see him no more. And come to find out, he ended up jumping in the portal. Maybe he ain't like something that was going on or whatever. But Brock Shocks jumped in the portal for the rest of the season, and now he's at Indiana, so we're gonna see him. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of anybody like it or not. So that gives me a pause to think like, yeah, we didn't change them out last year, but the year before we was changing out tight ends. So
well, no, but hear me out. No. But let's go back. Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't Will Mallory here when Shannon Dawson got here?
Will Mallory was when you talking about with Shannon Dawson?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the very first, Will Mallory was not here when
Yes, he was.
No, Shannon Dawson been OC for 2 years or 3.
Shannon Dawson. Correct. Wasn't Shannon Dawson? Wasn't Shannon Dawson?
I think Shannon Dawson caught Mallory the last year.
Exactly right.
I think that last year, I think he had it for 1 year if with TVD.
That's correct.
But he had him with TVD that first year.
I know, but hear me out.
And
I know, but hear this part.
Mm-hmm.
You're correct. And Will Mallory would be the inline attached tight end as well as what? He will also go out and run routes, just like we saw in Alex Bowman. Oh, it's 4 years ago, bro. And I don't believe in my heart of hearts that this kid, Israel Briggs, is coming to play tight end. He may be labeled as a tight end because he's a big body receiver. That's how they label these guys, right? They label them as tight ends because that's the new thing. Just like you don't have pro-style quarterback and dual threat quarterbacks anymore. They changed the name. So big tight ends, like if Andre Johnson was coming in right now, they would have called him a tight end, bro.
No way.
I'm telling you. You come out of high school, 225. Go look at any of the big body. They call them jumbo receivers. That's the new name for him now. I'm not saying he would have been. I'm just talking about what they call him. Because if I go look at Israel Briggs' film right now, go look at Israel Briggs' film. You showed me one clip him playing tight end.
Yeah, if you look at David Njoku film, it's the same thing. But what I'm saying is, you could say they got him listed there, but it ain't no. I'm telling you, it ain't no room at receiver for him to go to receiver, so he's gonna have to play tight end.
I know. Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, you're right. Maybe.
So that's how I know he's playing tight end because it ain't no room at receiver.
Okay.
There's no room, coach.
Okay.
And then you got Paris Milan over there doing good with Wingo. There's no way he getting on the field over there.
Okay.
No way. He playing tight end or he going defense. One of the two. It ain't gonna be no receiver. I could bet you got him down on that one. You got Sappho, the receiver from California. It's loaded over there. He's not getting no burn over there at all.
Okay.
He got to figure out how to play tight end because that's where they recruited him at, and there's no other room nowhere else for him to go unless he goes to the defense.
But what you're not realizing
he's not playing receiver.
Miami doesn't care if there's no room. Miami's trying to stockpile the talent because somebody in that room ain't gonna work out.
Yeah, obviously they ain't got no coach over there right now. So
if they got talent,
that's the only.
It's the same reason why. Then why did they recruit? What's the kid McCartney, the DN?
They actually recruited him because he made some plays and he got length at end. It's just that Jason Taylor and now we got Damian Lewis. Their greatness as coaches they getting all the top talent at D line. So now that boy
Gotta
can't
make
get on
a
the
move.
field because you got Scroggins
There
and
you go.
and
But there's the point. Miami doesn't care if you don't work out. That's an insurance policy. These players are employees. What I'm saying is,
true.
we're going to stockpile as much as we can. Yeah, you want to come in, you a tight end. I don't know why they labeled him a tight end, but here's they got on his tape, wide receiver. Now, they probably told him, hey, yeah, we're going to have a tight end package for you. Well, yeah, you're not really a tight end, but we label you as tight end. Everybody's selling goods out here, bro. And I'm not mad at that. I'm just saying, if you think this kid finna go put his hand in the dirt, why don't you go, what matter if it was the kid at Ohio State? How did that fare for him? What was the kid at Ohio State they end up moving him to tight end? He was a receiver the whole time. God, dog. Number one over there. Help me in the chat, somebody. Hurricane Pete, what's up, baby? Give me 1 second. Matter of fact, I may just bring you in, Hurricane Pete. You chop it up. What was the kid at Ohio State? They end up moving him to tight end. And he didn't hardly play. He was I want to say he was from Washington, the state of Washington. Oh my God, bro. What was this kid name?
Yeah. What number did he have? Because
in high school, I want to say he was 13. I want to say he was 13 in high school. Because I remember saying he was Friday the 13th. And he never really fared out at Ohio State. And then they tried to put him at tight end. And he didn't do much of nothing.
I don't even remember too many tight ends over there that was dominant.
He wasn't dominant, but he was coming out of high school, he was dominant wide receiver.
They don't really have him at Ohio State for real. So he was a lost cause anyway.
No, he was a bad boy, bro. Coming out, but he was a big body kid. I can't think of it, man. Let me go to 24. I think 24 was his year. I don't know no jersey number. Let's go position.
They got Israel Breeze lining up at corner and linebacker.
That's what I'm saying
too. So
okay, that sounds good. Let me see. I'm gonna tell you right now. Hold on. I'm looking on their roster right now. G. Scott was his name. G. Scott. 6'3", ended up being 243 pounds. Too heavy. He can't that weight didn't transfer.
Yeah.
G. Scott Jr. Thank you, man. G. Scott. Thank you. I pulled it up. Y'all put it down here, but I was looking at G. Scott. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Just like that kid.
Look, G. Scott, listen, G. Scott coming out of high school. G. Scott was 6'3", 210 coming out of high school. Guess what? He was from Seattle. That's
Greg Russo was 210, 210, 205, 206 coming out of high school.
And what he played?
And we saw how he blew up.
Yeah, but he ended up playing defensive end. That's a different. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's not a playing wide receiver and blocking the doggone a 3 technique is two different fights.
Yeah, and then on some of his highlights, they got him at corner.
No, for real. I get it.
But he's a big ass corner out there on his highlights, to tell you that. Yeah. When he out there corner, you know you gonna look at him and like who that is. So he might not play tight end, but I know for a damn sure he ain't playing receiver.
G. Scott. And G. Scott coming out of high school wasn't no slouch. Oh, Pete, let me let you in, bro. I'm sorry. Hold up. G. Scott coming out of high school. G. Scott was the number 2 player in Washington, the number 10th best wide receiver in the country. No, I apologize. Yeah, he's the number 5th best player wide receiver coming out his year, the 37th best player in the nation, the number 1 player out of the state of Washington. He was a 4-star, 97 ranking. And he was 6'2 and a half, 207.
Mm.
Oh, hold on, man. Let me let Hurricane Pete in the line. Hurricane Pete, what's up, baby?
It was good, coach.
Chilling, man. Had a late start, but we in the building, man. Chopping up with the team. 127 to climb in the building. What's up with you?
Man, I can't call it, man. I just tapped in with you, man. I see y'all talking tight ends, man. You know, I honestly feel like we was a Elijah Arroyo away from winning it all. I felt like that was the missing piece this year. If we would have had a Elijah Arroyo, we would have won the whole thing, because when you look at Carson Beck at Georgia, who his favorite target was. You know, it was the tight end. I forgot his name. I think he went to the Raiders.
I forgot. Delk.
Did his last name start with a B or something like that?
Was it Delk?
Say it again.
I think his last name started with a B. But that was his favorite target. You know, Carson Beck likes to look, you know,
Bowers
down the middle of the field.
Come on, brought
Bowers.
It was Bowers. Yeah.
Bowers, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I really felt like that was the missing piece this year. Now, I've been saying this. I was saying this all year. When it comes to Lofton, my opinion, and I want your opinion on this, fellas, coach. But I think Elijah Lofton is out of position. He's not a tight end. Now, can he play tight end? Yes. But you heard what they were saying. They was like, yeah, the kid can play any position. They say he can play linebacker. That don't mean he could be good. He's good at it. He can play it. But in my opinion, he's a fullback. He's not a tight end. You know, to me, I feel like Lofton, he might blossom in the NFL if he get a chance. If he get in the right system. Like what's my man from San Francisco, Shanahan? The head coach. I don't know if y'all watching the San Francisco 49ers football, but they got a player, number 44. I think his name is Hugheschick. Yeah. And he's a fullback, but they line him up in line sometimes. They line him up on the wing, and sometimes they split him out in the slot. He does a little bit of everything, but his position is a fullback. He takes hands. He takes, you know, he does a lot of short yard carries. You know, he's
an H-back.
Exactly, H-back. They play action, and then they slip him out in the flats. You know what I mean? To me, that's Lofton. He's not an inline tight end, and I feel like we're misusing him. In my opinion, what y'all think about it?
All right, let me just say this first. I'll just say this real quickly. First of all, I think we caught up on titles, because I've never seen Elijah Lofton lined up in line on the end of the line of scrimmage. He is truly an H-back. But again, this is what I keep talking about when people, we get caught up in titles, right? Just like I was even talking about the Israel Briggs. Oh, yeah, you're a tight end, buddy, right? When you look at the title, yeah, he's titled as a tight end, right? He wasn't even playing tight end at Bishop Gorman, but they call him a tight end from the recruiting process, and there's several reasons why. Because when you look at his skill set, when he's being recruited, it's easy to be a 4 or 5-star tight end when you're doing what you're doing at your size, but you ain't playing tight end position, the technical, traditional definition of a tight end, right? So when I look at it, That's that. That's first of all. Second of all, he is exactly what they say he is. He's an H back. He's at the full back. He might be on the wing. He motion. Sometimes they can walk him out, right? But he's not the inline guy. And that's the issue. People are caught up in the titles of what they're playing, but that's not truly what they're playing. So, but when I look at Elijah Lofton, I believe they are playing him correctly. He ain't blocking nobody off the edge. I've never seen him block nobody like line up on like Alex Bowman did. Not one time have I. Now maybe he done it and I missed it. Or maybe I was asleep, but I ain't seen him do it yet. I see him line up back in the backfield.
I seen him line up as an extra tight end and block. But I ain't gonna say it was successful.
And I'll say this too.
Like
he don't do a great job blocking.
Matter of fact, on a couple of those runs, those early in the season, a couple of those Fletcher runs that he matter of fact, Pringle runs, he sprung Pringle free a couple times. I've seen.
But was he at the wing or was he lined up? Was he at the wing?
Yeah.
Or was he lined up foot to foot?
Yeah, he was like at the wing.
That's the difference, because when you line up at the wing, I'm saying that's a little bit different. When you line up on that line, it ain't like you, unless you shift, you ain't gonna line up on the line and go pull and get behind up all that. Like, you get what I'm saying? There's more versatility. So, I like that one. A Keith Byers type. I hear you. While you going back,
I got a question, Coach.
Mm-hmm.
So, Coach, when I get you, because he might not been lined up on the line, but I've seen him where it's the three receivers out there and he's out there. Bauman's not out there. And he may not be lined up in line, but he's off a little bit, I guess, like a wing or something, and they'll motion him. You know what I mean? They'll motion him to do like a wham block or something like that, or kick out the end. So my question is I know. So my question is that still not playing the tight end role, even though he's not lined up on the line of scrimmage?
No, it's technically the H-back role. It's an H-back. It's not. It's a different position. I think he's just labeled a tight end. Like, to me, Alex Bowman is a traditional tight end. Elijah Lofton is not a traditional tight end. He is just what he is. He is an H-back. He lines up in various positions. He can, like you say, wham block. He kick out block. He can trap. He can get the ball. He can be back there by himself. A lot of people put in here the Swiss Army knife of deals. I believe that's what he was. He can go out there, catch the ball. He can run a corner route. He has decent speed. But when you look at a traditional tight end, then it's different. That's just me. Does he do some of the – because the H-back is a crossover. He does some things that a tight end does. But a tight end doesn't do what he does. He does some things that a running back does, but a running back don't do what a tight end does. You get what I'm saying? So he's that crossover, that H-back. That's what I can say.
I think Colin McCartney is gonna be, because Colin McCartney is 6'5", 250. So him, Moeller, Jackson Culver, and Luka are the traditional tight ends. I put Briggs in the category with Lofton, even though he's not what Lofton is. He's more of what Njoku is and what Elijah Arroyo came in as. Because even though Arroyo he could put his hand in the dirt, we still spread Arroyo out a lot and ran seam routes with him. That's what I see Briggs looking at. That's what I'm looking at for Briggs, that bigger target right there that can run right there. Because Brevin Jordan came in at like 215. You know what I'm saying? He didn't finish at 215, but he came in like 215 too. Jonathan Vilma played freshman in Miami at 215. So I don't look at Briggs as a traditional. I ain't looking at him for the block. I'm looking at and they, like you said, Coach, they might not rotate, but we didn't have nobody out that we could even put in the game last year that can stretch the field like Briggs can. So what I'm saying is, you might have saw this year that they didn't rotate. That's probably because they didn't have anybody else there.
Mhm.
Because Brock Shots was supposed to be that, and he jumped in the portal early.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because we played Brock. If you go back to the early film, we played the first 4 games. Brock Shots was getting on the field, and I was like, "Oh, who this number 10 is? Who is number 10? Number 10 was getting burned."
Mhm.
But after that, I ain't seen him no more. And then I later found out that he in a portal now. Oh, now he's with Signetti, and we're gonna see exactly what left us with Indiana next year with him.
Mhm.
Because however you feel, that dude was making plays, and if he would have stayed, we would have been talking about Brock Shots this year.
Mhm.
And I think he would have did better than Bauman last year. We could have used him more than he could have been doing kind of both last year than what Bauman did. You know, I think if he would have stayed on, he would have eventually got more playing time than Bauman, because Bauman was just like traditional, but he was just so weak. At times he was weak as hell. Like weak as hell. Sometimes he'll make a good play, but it's like, bro, what the
You like Will
what the
Mallory,
hell?
dog.
Yeah.
This is all we got?
Yeah, and I feel like what they asked Lofton to do this year, in my opinion, was more in that tight end role. Even though he's H-back, I feel like he played more of that tight end role, and I think they even wanted him to, because we didn't have that guy, to, like you say, stretch the middle of the field. So I think, because I've seen Lofton do that a lot, going down the middle of the field, and he's not that tall, so I don't know if Vic didn't really trust throwing it to him, but you need that tall guy going down the middle of the field, going down that seam, that's going, at least if you don't throw it to him, he's at least gonna pull that safety, and then now you can slip somebody up under there. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You know.
Listen, I agree with you.
Yeah.
So
think Colin-
here's one more question I got. Do y'all think that Shannon Dawson offense suits Lofton? Or do you like?
It could.
Because
I believe it
everybody's
could.
saying he's gonna break out, but I don't know. I don't know if Shannon Dawson offense even would suit a player like him. You know what I mean? To really just break out and be that guy. He can have a role, of course, but I don't know. I mean, it's yet to be seen.
I think this would have been a good season for him had he made the catches that he had. If Elijah Lofton makes all of those catches that he dropped or either got popped and let go, because he got popped, like I said, he dropped a couple touchdowns this year that was very important. And a couple of the losses, the 2 losses that we had, he had some important drops in that. He had rolls in that, like that he couldn't hang on to the ball. You know what I'm saying? If he can't make them catches, he has a pretty good season. But with how he got popped in the playoffs. It brought blood for him. But the same thing happened to him in the SMU game. The same thing happened to him, I think, Louisville game. You know what I'm saying? And then some games he just was he was dropping. He's just dropping important balls for us or whatever. So,
Hold on,
I
guy,
just
real
feel
quick.
like,
Hold on, guy. I got a caller
and
calling
then
in.
Will Mallory. We had Will Mallory with Shannon Dawson. Shannon Dawson used he let Mallory spread out a little bit when Mallory was here the first year. He ain't just keep him in the 3 and have his hand in the dirt. Like, he used him. And Mallory sucked at blocking.
Oh, he's
But
terrible. Oh, he's terrible. Listen, real quick, let me let somebody in because I'm gonna close this out in about 10 minutes. I got 6753 on the line. Real quick, introduce yourself. You on with everybody else. And we got about 10 minutes. 6753.
All right, what's going on, Coach? This CJ from Duval.
Oh, CJ, what's happening with you, man? What's up, brother? What's your thoughts on
Man,
what we've been
chilling. How you
talking about
doing,
here,
Coach,
man?
man?
The conference has been locked.
I mean, I feel what everybody's saying about the tight end. A lot of unknown. a lot of unknown personnel in the tight end room right now. Besides, Lofton getting, starting last year. But I feel like it's on Shannon Dawson, man. It's like the way I seen Indiana use 37. I keep forgetting his name, but 37 for Indiana. The way they utilize him, I feel like we can utilize Lofton in that same way. It's like you got to use your players to their skill set. So it's like, why aren't we running concepts where Lofton is in the backfield and he getting routes out the backfield to get him, matched up on one of these slow linebackers or something like that. It's like, of course he's not an inline blocker, but I don't think Arroyo was a good inline blocker. Most of the time we split Arroyo out wide a lot of the time. So it's not, we just need one of the guys to become an inline blocker. I don't think that would be hard to find. We got big tight ends on the roster. I just think they got to develop, and the strength and conditioning, they got to get, stronger, in the point of attack, against defensive ends and outside linebackers. But I do feel like it's up to Shannon Dawson to actually utilize Elijah Lofton in the right way, because we knew him coming out of a high school, him being like one of them Swiss Army knife kind of guys, utility guys, that he's not a pure tight end because he didn't play that in high school. So why not just utilize him to his best skill set? If you got to change up a couple plays in the offense to get him going early, then why not do that? But trying to make him this downfield tight end, that's not his skill set. So I feel like, everybody's saying key points, but that's on Shannon Dawson. Y'all recruited this guy, and so use him to his best skill set to actually get the best out of him. Because I feel like he can be a 400 or 500 yard, get 400 or 500 yards, 5-6 touchdowns in a season, next year. Because we don't need our tight end to be, 800-900 yards, 10 touchdowns. We just need a steady tight end to where he can make a couple plays each game, consistency. So I feel like we got to get Shannon Dawson to, fit his skill set, utilize him to the best of his ability, which is, sometimes he split out wide, sometimes he at tight end, sometimes he in the backfield. Use him as a Swiss Army knife, like how he was used when he was at Bishop Gorman.
Listen, I'm all for it, bro. Listen, I'm here for it. And I'm being serious. I appreciate it. I just think that like I said, when I look at it, and I look at it a different way than a lot of different people, and sometimes people don't understand that, and I understand that. Like I think a guy like Elijah Lofton, I was so excited when he came and I saw his skill set. Then I saw him with that first spring, I believe it was. I'm like, man, this dude got it. Like, he got something. I really was. I know I'm making a huge comparison here, but I thought he would have a breakout season the way Malachi Tony did. Maybe not with as dynamic, but what I'm saying is a major contributor to our offense because of where he played and how he played and the skill set he possesses. Right? He's a mismatch for linebackers. Like I'm looking at him saying, okay, look, how do you cover a guy like this? He ain't the fastest, but he's faster than your typical inside backers that's going to cover him if you line up at the fullback spot. If you play man with him, against him, he can beat the one-on-one coverage. But he's stocky enough to put a shoulder in there and be, maybe a lead blocker or, like you said, a wing blocker. I thought he had such a very good, diverse skill set that it created a bunch of mismatches. Because I'm looking at him from a defensive perspective, like, all right, if I got to play Miami and this guy's on the field, how do I coach against that? What am I telling my players? Oh, he's only in the game when they run inside zone or split zone? No. But wait a minute. If they line him up in the backfield as a fullback or an H-back or whatever you want to name him, and then walk him out, does my safety have to come down and cover him, or can I walk my linebacker out? Or do I always have to keep a nickel in there? Now I'm a little undersized against the run, but if they do pass it, I can match them foot for foot speed. Like, that's why I was so excited about the Elijah Lofton. Now, it just hasn't come to fruition as of yet, maybe due to some injury, but I thought he would have that kind of season where you would see him at the fullback. Then you may say, oh, shoot, imagine Elijah Lofton and Fletcher back there together, two big bodies. Who getting the ball? You're faking the Fletcher on a cross buck, and then you see Elijah Lofton getting it on the end of like, you see what I'm saying? It was so much that could be done with his skill set. Because, like you said, he ain't the fastest, but he's definitely fast enough where he could, create some problems, right? And so, because he's faster than your typical fullback. He's, you know what I'm saying? I guarantee probably just as fast as Mark Fletcher. Maybe a hair slower.
Right.
You know what I mean? It ain't like Mark Fletcher 4'6" and he running 5'3". Like, you know what I'm saying? So they probably neck and neck. I thought he was gonna be such an interesting piece to the offense with creativity.
Right. Do you think let me ask you a question, Coach, real quick. Do you think we need to I think we should start running more tempo, because I felt like last year we was too slow. Like, we was slow getting to the line, and I felt like with a little tempo in the offense, maybe with Mensa more this year, running more tempo, that'll get more guys involved when the defense can't really strategize, play to play with us. I think we sometimes, not all the time, but I feel like sometimes we should run more tempo. That maybe that'll get Lofton involved early if we run a tempo and you got linebackers trying to run on and off the field, depending on what type of offense we run in that series. I don't know. That's just how I feel. How you feel about that?
I mean, could we? Sure. I mean, I could always Monday morning quarterback and be like, yeah, definitely. I think it all comes into the game. Sometimes you don't have to do it. I mean, if that's not your thing, like Chip Kelly thing was when he was at Oregon, if that's not your thing and you want to do it for a change of pace, I'm cool with it. But if you don't do it and you're still successful, I'm cool with that too. I really don't trip on little things like that. I think it's times you could use it to keep people off balance, where you could.
Just sometimes. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes. Not often, but sometimes in the game where you feel like the offense not moving and it's stagnant. Hey, let's run a little tempo, try to catch them running guys off the field, in the series. Maybe at the beginning of the game to throw a defense off. They ain't never run tempo because we already know what our first 6-8 plays gonna be depending on down and distance. So why we can't run a little tempo to speed up the game to get the defense on their toes? Maybe that'll help a guy like Lofton out, get going early.
Well, I'll just say this about it. Y'all can jump in. When it came to Lofton, I have to be honest. And I know Juan told me, he was hurt. I get that. I wasn't overly impressed with his blocking. I have to be honest.
Right.
I thought it was a little lackluster. I thought it was a lot of shoulder, and maybe that's why his shoulders hurt. He never met a guy, squared him up, and drove him out of there. If you go watch, like on them kick out blocks and leading up, it wasn't a violence. Now, maybe that's due to the fact that he was hurt. I don't know when he got injured. But I'm just talking about looking at what I saw.
Maybe it's coach.
maybe
it's coach. It's either
maybe not. I don't know.
I think he blocked better. He blocked better his freshman year to me.
Right.
He was blocking a lot better. And because I don't know if you remember, Coach, but that his freshman year, with the year Cam was here, I was calling for him to play a lot more. I thought he should have played a lot more, because I was saying, I don't know if you remember, Coach, but I was saying I think we should run the ball a little bit more to kind of help our defense out. You know what I mean? Last year, because our defense was so trash, maybe we should slow the game down a little bit, kind of run some clock. And I felt like putting Lofton on the field more would help out. And like you say, it's a mismatch because if you come out there with an inline tight end and you line up in I formation with Mark Fletcher and Lawton in the as fullback, you're gonna come out. Okay, they might come out in or 4-3 with 3 linebackers because they're like, okay, they playing big boy football. But then if you split him out and now he on a linebacker, that's a mismatch. So I think Lawton, I was kind of like you, Coach. I didn't expect Lawton to have a crazy year, like he was gonna put up super numbers, but I thought he was gonna be one of our top red zone target. I thought, because of his skill set, his mismatch abilities, that he would score a lot of touchdowns. He's a good red zone, target in red zone.
Yeah, LJ, anything? We're about to wrap this up here in a little bit.
Man, yeah, I agree. I think they should just. I think Coach Hayes. I think you're right. I feel like the offense can kind of be like, even going into this year, this should be like, it should be a lot of disguise or a lot of wrinkles ran through like Lofton and Malachi.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
There should be a lot of like deception using him in the offense. So I get exactly what you're saying. How he's supposed to be killing and being a problem for defenses every week, because we should be really utilizing that more or whatever. Hopefully Shannon Dawson see that and do it. But I agree with you on that. Because even with these,
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Even with these inline tight ends, I still feel like inline tight end is inline tight end. We're gonna have one of them regardless. But Lofton isn't. He's a weapon. We're not. We got him for something else. Just what you're talking about, Coach, like how you said you felt like he was going to impact it more and take it over, like have a Malachi Tony type deal. I get exactly what you're saying with that, and that's what needs to be emphasized going into next year. Because I believe he got the talent. I believe he would, if he would have caught his balls. Like I said, if he would have caught the opportunities that he had this year, it would have been a better season for him, and we probably win. You know what I'm saying? We probably end up with a win, but
like I said, I mean, I see people in here, y'all. He's hurt. He was hurt. I get it. I understand that. I'm just talking about what I saw versus what was there. That's all. I mean, if y'all feelings hurt because he was hurt, then shit, tell him don't play. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, if he was hurt, like shout out to Shockwave. He say, "How you gonna block physical with a hurt shoulder? Make it make sense. Take him off the field. That's how you make it make sense. If he gonna give you half of what you need, then take him off the field. That's how you make it make sense. Don't ask him to do physical stuff if he ain't physically capable. It's like asking a dude in a cast to run a 40. Make that make sense. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to be, funny and short-sighted. It's football. People are going to get hurt. People are going to get dinged up. People are going to, it's a physical game. So only thing I'm saying to this is you want 100, people want 100% result. When I'm halfway physical able to do it, the best I give you is 50%, and a 50 on the test is an F. I mean, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm looking at it from you asked me to make it make sense, and this is how you make it make sense. You don't ask a person who's incapable of doing it at that particular time, for whatever the reason is, to do something that needs something that you're lacking right now. So if your shoulder is hurt and you need your shoulders to block, don't ask me to block with a hurt shoulder. Make sense? I hope that makes sense.
Hey, Coach, I got a question real quick. If Elijah Lofton doesn't take that next step and we don't get Luka Gilbert, he's not really ready to take that step either. Do you see Shannon Dawson saying, hey, look, maybe it's time for me to go a little bit more of my background, more spread, more full ride? you know, 4 wide receivers, and you know, and if it's a light box, we run. If they type, you know, if they stuff the box, we throw type game, like more of his air raid style.
All right, ask the first part again because I got kind of confused. So ask the first part again.
No, I was saying like if we start the season off with you know, a very lackluster production from the tight end position, do you see Dawson saying, hey, look, I'm about to go a little bit more air raid and we go more 4 wide? And, you know, I feel like we still can run a ball out of it, you know, because if we spread the field out and the box is light, I think we can still run it on people.
Okay, well,
but if we don't see, you know, production out of tight end, do you see us going more 4 wide?
And let me ask you this. I'm gonna let you answer it for me by asking you a question. I know they say don't answer a question with a question, so please forgive me. How do you feel about 87's production this year? Overall,
I give him like a C minus.
Okay.
Like a C minus.
Okay. With that C minus, is that kind of the threshold in which you were just the question in which you were just asking me right now? When you saying not getting a lot of production, do you feel like C minus was enough production or not enough?
I don't think it was enough. I felt like at times we should have just took him off the field. And if Elijah was hurt, he come off the field too, and we put another wide receiver out there.
And go what? And go 4 wide, right?
We go 4. We go air raid.
Okay.
And I feel now with Carson Beck.
Hold on. Here's my question.
I don't know.
No. Here's my question. Here's my question. So now you said your question was, if we go 4 wide, I mean, if we don't get the production, should we go 4 wide? My question was, how did you think 87 played? You said C minus. I asked you, was that enough production? You said, no, not really. We should have taken him off the field and go 4 wide. Did we do that?
No.
Okay. So basically that answers your question, in my opinion, because I just told y'all Monday I got my teeth kicked in for talking about packages. And now everybody want packages. So all I'm saying is, I don't think so. Now I know what you're about to say is, well, with Carson Beck, I think Carson Beck get a lot of flack because the air raid don't mean you throw it down the yard. Air raid does not mean air raid is basketball on grass. That's what they always used to say, right? When it first, it's basketball on grass, like throwing a pack. You don't have to have the strongest arm in the world to run air raid. So whether Carson Beck was out there, whether it was 4 wide receivers that was out there, I still think Carson Beck has enough arm to do exactly what air raid requires. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair. It can just be my opinion. I noticed they lined up real tight sets with Carson versus with Cam. They not saying they didn't line up in tight sets because they did at times, but you know, they spread it out a bit too. You know what I mean? Because you know, a lot of times at air raid, you might have to throw a ball 30 yards. It may not necessarily go down the field. Maybe, you know, on the other half, all the way to the sideline. You know what I mean? Well, so I don't know if
but your tight end
Carson's arm was all the way.
Yeah, but your tight end was different. You had Elijah Arroyo was your tight end, not Bowman. So it's kind of, you know what I mean?
True.
You had a different tight end. Now, if they would have had the same tight end and did that, then I could say, okay, I get the comparison. But you had a different style of guy. And again, even with Carson Beck, I still think he is the low-hanging fruit for why people blame a lot of failures. And I believe, I hate to use the word failure because God, leave me, we made it to the natty. That's not the right word. For some of our downfalls, I guess, if I can use that, in some of our game. But I think a lot of it had to do with the schematics. I think a lot of it had to do with simple things that made big differences, in my opinion. I don't believe we motion enough to create confusion on defenses. I think we show our hand. It's like a dude that's playing spades, and he got all the spades, all the trump cards. Ain't nothing you can do to beat it. That's how I feel like we feel when we walk out there. We actually get so I guess conceited is the right word, or arrogant, that we gonna just bully you. And that doesn't always work. Right? Even Mike Tyson got knocked out. Muhammad Ali been put to the canvas. Right? And we consider them the greatest of all times. Right? Somebody can always catch you slipping. So what I'm saying to you is I think offensively we can do better with our motion and formations. I'm not talking about play calling. You notice I've never said anything about this play calling. I'm just talking about we can achieve the same thing but create some confusion to the defenses where it makes our job easier. Right? It makes it easier because that's what happens to us. Right? A busted play. The formation changes. The motion happens. The guys miscommunicate on the defensive side of it. The DB doesn't get the call. He still thinking it's 2. When I got motion, no, we checking 4-4-4. He's still playing 2. That's how you get easy wins out of here. If you go look at football, people who motion and change formations give you a lot to look at. Believe it or not, defense has a lot to prepare for. And it creates confusion. Am I right, LJ, was saying that? You play defense.
You right about that?
A DB, a wide receiver lining up 2 yards inside the hash versus 2 yards outside the hash doesn't mean a hill of beans to a fan looking at the football screen, but it makes a world of difference to the cornerback. Put that on the shirt, somebody. Clip that. A wide receiver lining up 2 yards inside the hash versus lining up 2 yards outside the hash means nothing to a fan watching the football game. All they see is a wide receiver. But to the defensive back, it could mean a total difference in coverage, alignment, leverage, being physical, hands-on, press bail. All of that makes a difference. That 4-yard swing makes a huge difference. And that's the things people may not understand. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's right.
I totally agree. Upon on that.
Soulful Spirit says, Coach, you might be the missing piece. Open spots waiting. Go, Cristobal, you got my number. Holla at your boy, 862-799-9956. Right here, baby. Call me right here on the show.
Go on ahead and grab Coach Hayes and going on here to make Bo the trainer the strength and conditioning coach.
Hey, Coach, I don't even need no shirt. I got my own shirt. You ain't got to waste no money. Yeah, I got my own shirt. Nah, but I'm just saying, like that's what's important in this game, man. Guys, if y'all wouldn't mind, give your last thoughts on anything. We were 2:15. Much love to y'all, man. I really appreciate y'all, man. I came on here a little late, had some internet stuff. I don't know, AT&T putting some broadband or something. They digging up people's yards around here. But anyway, talk to me.
Go ahead and go first.
Nah, man. Hey, it was a pleasure, man. Chopping it up with y'all as always, Coach. You know what I'm saying? Until next time, about to go lay it on down, man. One love.
Appreciate y'all. Pete, was that Hurricane Pete? No.
Yeah, that was me.
All right. Appreciate you, Hurricane Pete. Thanks, man. My man.
Yeah, man.
Duval.
Hey, man, I appreciate you, Coach, man. You know, you get a great insight on everything here. Every week, you know, I'm tuned in, man. I appreciate you, Coach.
Anytime, brother. Anytime. Thank you, man. LJ, chop it up with
All
us,
right.
man. Yes, sir.
Coach, you know, you already know, man. You know, when you I'm calling, I'm going to find my way to call you. You fam. So, as always, Coach Hayes.
LJ.
Coach Hayes.
I say LJ.
Coach Hayes.
LJ.
Coach Hayes.
Man, that junk over there trash, man. That junk over there trash. All right, man.
All right, Coach, man.
Much love, bro.
Yo.
We'll chop it up for sure.
Much love. Yep.
Shout out to LJ and them, man. I don't even know how that started, man. We were talking about something. Oh, I think we were talking about Florida State. I think that's how it started. I think it was about Florida State. But anyway, shout out to LJ, man. Appreciate appreciate the donor over there on Cash App, man, from Dub City. I believe he said Jive Turkey always late. Man, storm me out, young brother. Can I live? But like I said, I know this is a little slow time of the year. Thank y'all. 121 people in the building, man. We got a lot of things working and going and so forth and so on, man. Much love to everybody in the building. Appreciate y'all stopping by. We in here rocking and rolling. This is Kane's Talk Live with your boy, Coach Hayes, on the Coach Me Coach podcast. Hey, we ready to rock and roll? We're going to get it going. As always, it's all about you, baby. Y'all make sure to do me a favor. Hit the like, share, subscribe button on your way out. But if you pressed it, don't press it again, because that means you're going to unsubscribe. So then press it again. But then don't press. Man, just make sure the thing got a thumb up when you press it, man. Be up out of here. Peace. T. Hines in the building. Yes, Lord. Much love to everybody. Go Canes.